big event coming up, sponsored by WGU. You might have heard of them. They educate some of America's best nurses. We've got the chancellor from WGU. We've got the person in charge of the clinical studies for the nurses. Tell us about appreciating nurses, particularly those that work the night shift.
Sure. We have our night shift nurse annual packing party. This is the 10th annual. And what we do is we pack these nice care packages and we deliver them to nurses who work the night shift. Coming up is our change of our times, our clocks roll back.
Yeah.
Right? And when that happens, our night shift nurses work an extra hour. And so also night shift folks, they work, they do the hard work, and people are sleeping, so they don't get celebrated very much. This is our opportunity to do that.
And I failed to make introductions. You were listening to Allison Bell. She's the chancellor at WGU. And Janelle Keller, you worked the night shift as a nurse for 14 years?
Yeah, 14 of my 19 years I was a night shift nurse. So I understand, that the extra hour is, a big deal. And it's fun to celebrate nurses that do that, work with those students that are patients that are in that situation where they are very vulnerable on the night shift.
Sure.
When the lights go down, pain and suffering doesn't go away. So that night shift nurse really steps in and provides that listening ear for that patient, and is just a vital and should be celebrated in our community.
And I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent, but you get some weird stuff in the hospital on the overnight shift, and you're
I'm sure it's day and night, but it does seem to
Well, so let's talk a little bit about, this is a critical time across the entire nation. We've got a real shortage of nurses. But WGU is doing what it can to alleviate that problem. What are your options if you want to be a nurse?
Oh, sure. So we're all online, except for the lab experience, right, and the clinical experience. We're fully online. You can pre-licensure nursing all the way through a master's in nursing, a family nurse practitioner, all through our Leavitt School of Health at WGU. It's all online, competency-based, so that the coursework that's online is very flexible. So a nurse who's working those, 3 days in a row, 12-hour shifts, they don't have to work around a school schedule. They can do their school work when they're free to do it. Okay,
and when it comes to the clinical part of the study, obviously not as flexible, but what percentage of that, what percentage of the education is clinical?
So before we go to clinical, we have a lab that we get all competency-based check off, and then we go into the clinical setting. So there's a certain amount of hours you perform in each clinical rotation. It's usually about 5 or 6 to 15 shifts that you'll work on the clinical side of things in person with patients.
So in terms of just overall time commitment, if I want to be an RN, what am I looking at in terms of years?
Oh, it's about a 2.5 year program.
Okay, that's fantastic. And if we want to help out and participate in this, what do we need to do?
Oh, well, this we take care of. I mean, if people want to show up and help us pack packages, we'll be doing it tomorrow at the WGU location. But it's full of goodies. Like, we're giving away a spa package. We're giving away 3 of those. We throw in some food, some breath spray, so just some things to pamper our nurses and other night shift workers.
Hershey's Kisses as well.
That's right,
chocolate. Everybody needs chocolate.
Randy, are you green that you didn't get to do this segment?
Yeah, George, I'm just kind of sitting over here thinking, I wish I was over there with you,
Yeah.
That's great. So
we kind of picked on him with the donuts.
We did, so it's payback time.
It is, there's a little payback.
I get that.
Yeah.
So.